Take a blank sheet of paper and hold it up to the light. You'll notice it isn't perfectly even. There's a faint texture running through it, almost like a mesh, almost like something woven. Most people assume that's just how paper looks, but that pattern is actually a trace, a ghost of the process that made it. Paper doesn't start as a sheet, it starts as a liquid. And the journey from that liquid to the flat, dry surface in your hand involves one of the oldest industrial processes still running today. Refined over centuries, now operating at a scale most people never think about. Because every time you write on a page, print a document, or tear open a paper bag, you're holding the end result of a process that begins in a forest, passes through enormous machines, and ends in something so thin it's almost weightless. Let's break it down, right here on Simply Understood. It starts with wood. Most commercial paper comes from fast-growing tree species: pine, eucalyptus, spruce. These are harvested, stripped of bark, and chipped into small pieces. But wood in its natural state can't become paper yet. That's because wood is made of two distinct components: cellulose and lignin. Cellulose is the fiber you actually need: long, flexible, and incredibly strong at a microscopic level. Lignin is what holds it all together inside the tree, making the wood hard and rigid. Before anything else can happen, these two have to be separated. The most widely used method is chemical pulping. Wood chips are loaded into a large pressure vessel and cooked in a hot chemical solution, typically a mixture of sodium hydroxide and sodium sulfide. This breaks down the lignin and releases the cellulose fibers. What comes out is called pulp, a soft, wet, fibrous material that looks something like thick porridge. At this stage, it's almost entirely water, roughly 99% water, with just 1% actual fiber. That pulp is cleaned, filtered, and sometimes bleached, depending on how white the final paper needs to be. Recycled paper follows a similar path. Old paper is soaked and broken down in water. The fibers are separated and cleaned, and the result is functionally the same pulp, ready to be reformed into something new. Then the pulp moves on to the paper machine, and this is where the transformation actually happens. The pulp, still mostly liquid, is spread in a thin, even layer across a fast-moving mesh screen called a wire. Water begins draining through it immediately. Gravity pulls most of it down. Suction removes more. As the water leaves, the cellulose fibers start to settle against each other, and the sheet begins to take shape. From there, the sheet passes through a series of press rollers that squeeze out more moisture, then through large heated cylinders that evaporate what's left. By the end of the machine, the sheet has gone from 99% water to less than 10%, and what holds it together isn't glue or any added binder. It's hydrogen bonds, forming naturally between the cellulose fibers as they dry in contact with each other. The same type of bond that holds water molecules together is what makes paper strong. The final character of the paper, its weight, its smoothness, how it takes ink, is shaped in the last stages of production. Some papers coated with a fine layer of minerals, usually calcium carbonate or kaolin clay. This fills in the microscopic gaps between fibers and creates a smoother, more uniform surface. That's what gives magazine paper its glossy finish. Standard office paper is left uncoated, which keeps the surface slightly rougher. Better for ink adhesion when writing by hand. The machines running all of this are hard to picture if you've never seen one. A modern paper machine can stretch over 100 meters from end to end. It runs continuously, sometimes for weeks without stopping, and produces paper at speeds of up to 100 kilometers per hour. A single machine can output several hundred tons of paper in a single day. Paper feels disposable precisely because it's so available. But availability at that scale requires an enormous amount of precision. In chemistry, in engineering, in the management of raw materials and water and energy. Something this thin and this ordinary is the product of one of the most refined industrial systems ever built. The next time you hold a sheet of paper, you're holding something that started as a tree, passed through chemistry and heat and pressure, and arrived in your hand as a surface so stable it can carry information for hundreds of years. It feels like nothing, but it took a very long time to make it feel that way.